Hello, my name is Alexei Novitzky, theoretical physicist and lifetime practitioner of meditation, and today I would like to talk to you about magic squares. But before we get started, I want everyone to just close their eyes and then open them and hit that like button, subscribe, and notify. So let's get started. This shape that I'm holding right now represents geometric perfection. It's the key to interdimensional travel. In general, a magic square can be any size grid. It can be a 3x3, a 4x4, a 5x5, 6x6, 7x7, and it just keeps going. But for the purposes of today, I'd like to talk to you specifically about the 4x4 magic square. And the concept that makes it a magic square is that you can add the numbers up along any diagonal, any vertical, any horizontal, any four corner sets, and they will all add up to 34. So how could this possibly relate to interdimensional travel? From Time Atom, we see there's a layering of conscious types that exist within reality. Each one of these conscious types is tuned to a different layer within the 5D multiverse. You could say that our entire perceivable experience of the universe exists within a sheet, and that sheet has a certain value. And for the reasonings here, let's just say that that value is equal to 34. The diameter of each sheet is related to the orbital rate of that sheet, which is related to acceleration towards center at light speed. So what you see is that each sheet, as you get further and further away, is 4 times bigger, but the frequency only is twice as big. This shows that for every 1 square that could exist in our dimension, 4 squares would fit in the dimension below. And if you wanted to make that a grid, it would be 4 by 4 squares. So in a way, for every 1 square in our universe, or our perception of the universe, 16 squares would fit in the dimension inward. What I have open on the screen is the infinite pool of experience and awareness. And in the 5th dimension, which is the 5th book in it, we do a more detailed analysis on the magic square. When you consider the crunching of matter and the stretching of light from a singular energy, you see that using flattened geometries will have an effect in the fluid of time. All solid shapes become stretched. When you draw a line connecting the numbers in ascending fashion, you'll notice 4 patterns emerging. When you consider the structure traveling through time or moving along the z direction, you notice that it makes a scalar vortex. Each number represents a sort of stone being tossed into a pond, which creates ripples that overlap with the one next to it. The overlapping of all ripples creates the experience manifested. Could we turn on and off squares if we powered them with electromagnetic coils? Magic squares represent vortices of all energetic types. If you use an electromagnet, you will create an electromagnetic vortex. If you use water waves, you will create a whirlpool. If you use sound, you will create a tornado. Let's now look at how infinite creations may emerge from the concept of the magic square. So all of this equals 1 vortex on the bottom. So consider our entire universe or experience is equal to the square of value 1, because all of these equal 1 vortex. Each complete set represents a vortex in our frame of motion. Let's now use the harmonization of the magic square to show how creations are formed. So all these ones, they could also be all 16s. And in our perception, it would look like a 1. Or there could be 4 4s in the middle. And again, in our perception, it would be 1. You could say in a way that all of these magic squares right here are equal to each other. By continuing to multiply them, our square by 4 by 4, we're able to make more complex structures that remain in harmony with the universe. At the same time, nothing may emerge, and the system may remain a 1 or any multiple of 2 to the n. Each one of those values represents a complete system or vortex. Let's now relate this to our conscious antenna and our ability to harmonize with the crunching of matter and stretching of light. From the liquid light state universe, harmony of 0. There are many options or ways to create an offset yet harmonious relationship within the universe. Here's a very simple diagram to show an incoming light state for the volume of space. This volume may or may not have a conscious entity inside. However, for this example, let's say it's a uniform light state. It is possible to create harmonious motions within this space. Technologically, these internal, never-ending motions may be used to generate great power in mind, body, and spirit, and potentially even used as a never-ending supply of electricity, such as the John Searle generator. So let's be square for a minute. So basically, we see that the magic sphere relates 100% to the magic square if you just consider the value of an incoming light state, and you see that it has the value x. For example, the Earth's frequency is the Schumann resonance, which is about 8 hertz. And so basically we have the value of x there. We have the value of our conscious perception, which is our alpha or beta state, slow or fast gamma. And so then here you just see magic squares. And so let's go to the magic sphere now, right? So the magic sphere is basically considering a conscious entity now being within the magic square. And so this demonstrates how the inside and outside the magic ring or sphere are in perfect harmony. And so this shows right now on the screen, you see a 2 by 2 grid, right? So 2 squared, which equals 1 vortex. So in this drawing, this big circle would represent the delta wave. The small circle would represent the theta wave. But what we realize is that we need to have the 4 by 4 square. So when you turn this into a 4 by 4 square, you got a different image. But you can, it's perfect for demonstrating here. And so you consider this your mind, body, spirit antenna. And so it's first introduced in the liquid light state universe. Now we're going to go over and look at time atom. Well, I'll walk you guys through it. So then in the Crystal of Time, which is the 3rd book in the series, we realize we have to be accelerating at light speed towards center in order to perceive reality. And because of that, you end up getting these rings that come out of the Crystal of Time. And so when you relate those rings, they end up being 1/4 the diameter, which is essentially the exact concept that the magic square has here. So basically the magic square is perfect for representing the shell jumping within dimensions and how your consciousness can harmonize with the different layers. And so in the Crystal of Time, we realize that we have those different rings and how each one's 1/4, but then we go to time atom, which is here, and we get our conscious harmonics and wrap them around the center of time. And we see how it perfectly relates to the magic square harmonizing. And so check this out. So on the bottom left, I have the magic square. Okay. And so from here, we realize that we can put this entire one ring inside of one of these. And so then you would have 4 squares existing in that, and then you could have 4 squares existing in that. And it just continues to amplify and amplify. And each one of those heights, so this would be like a side profile of that, but only centered. So you see the first wave by itself would be delta, and then you add the second set of spikes, you add the third set, forgot to put beta there. But Basically, you see how you can continue to harmonize your conscious antenna / your magic sphere in order to perceive different thicknesses of reality within those sheets. Now you see how this simple shape can be modified for interdimensional travel. So let's all just take a deep breath, close our eyes, open them, and smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification. For real now though, just close your eyes and smash that like button.